For years, I pastored in our church in the UK, and I discovered something. Weekend work pay is more than weekday. So it's like 1.25 or so of weekday. Because of that weekend pay, you will discover that people begin to budget their Sundays. Not that they must come to work, but they volunteer that weekend they will take it. So Monday to Sunday they are working, then they will want to manage just shock one Sunday there, maybe per month. Budgeting the Sunday on the basis of money. And you discover that those who take that stand, they hardly go far. Until many began to awake. And from there began to go full force. And you see God lifting them and changing their story. Never negotiate your commitment to fellowship. That is one of the things that the devil will always seek to do. You know what Pharaoh said to Moses? He said, you can go to worship God, but don't go far. Don't go far. He said you can go, but don't go with everybody. You can go, but don't go with your cattle. He wants to negotiate the level of our commitment. But my prayer is that for each one of us, that temptation comes to an end today. God is ushering you and I to new realms of victory. In the name of God. When the move of God breaks loose, fortune begins to manifest. We're told in the first two services, the experience of the nation of South Korea. South Korea was an impoverished nation, one of the poorest nations in the world. But suddenly, as God began to move, with a minor population of about 400,000, God began to move in that nation. And before you know it, within the short space of time, it became the number 13th industrialized nation in the world, catapulted by the move of God. As they kept pushing the kingdom, God kept pushing the economy of the nation, decorated it, until today it has become what it is. We have the United States of America. That nation was founded on the fundamental desire to serve God. The people went there because they were looking for a place where they could serve God in liberty. Till today, if you look at the American dollar, it has on it, in God we trust. It was the fundamental ethos of the nation. Serving God, pursuing God. One nation under God is how they refer to themselves. One nation under God. And as they began to pursue God, this is a nation that just started. They started in 1776. And when they started as a nation, there was nothing existing. Just a colony of people that gathered in a place that they found. And the nation began to go from there. And went from a non-existent nation to becoming the number one nation in the world. Because when God's move begins to spread in a place, it catapults the nation to the top. Everything begins to move forward. Shout hallelujah. Now, if that happens for nations, how will it not happen for persons? When individuals begin to go after God, there is the release of heaven's resources in their direction. That will become your testimony to sing. I can't forget the testimony of a particular brother who stood on this altar some time ago. And he said that he went out preaching. And as he was doggedly out for Jesus, a particular man looked at him one day. And he said, get out of here, you one-trousered preacher. He has been seeing him there wearing the same trouser every day. And he looked at him and insulted him like that. And he said, now I know that my own time has come. And before you knew it, a breakthrough that made him, a high flyer, inexplainable, came his way. Because God uses revivers to terminate frustration. He uses revival. When he was sharing the testimony, it was a testimony that had valuations in billions. Trouser is not a problem anymore because God changed his story and made him the envy of his world. For somebody hearing my voice in this season, God will make you the envy of your world.